Good evening, everypony, and welcome to Commentario's Magic Stream on today's Sunday, March 3rd, 2019. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big Cheese.
Arquette, and with us today we've got special guest
Ivory Starlight.
Hey, stranger.
Hello.
You say that to everyone.
I do say that to everyone. I have
Question.
Yes.
If your mother walked in the door, would you be like, "Hey, stranger"?
Yes. And my sister, and like everyone else, I have the memory of a goldfish. I'll prove it. Ask me again in 25 seconds.
I'm counting down.
Hey, Grandpa's, how many seconds did you say?
What?
What?
Good evening, everypony, and welcome to... Alright. We'll stop messing around here. So, Store Championships happened.
Did they?
In some places.
Cool.
In all the places.
Well, we think they happened in some other places, but we don't know because they haven't given us, tournament reports yet.
Public shade.
Shame. Shame. Anyway.
There were a lot of successful events, though, and we're so glad to each and every group that participated, and especially a big thanks to all the retail stores that allowed the local play groups to host an event there. We know it's been a while since Store Championships have actually taken place, and we're excited to bring them back along with other stuff. So having these retail stores cooperate is a huge help.
Oh, that's unfortunate there in chat. A little bit of a winter apocalypse.
Oh no. Well, at least it was postponed rather than just flat out canceled.
Yeah. So that's good. I think there was another group that ended up having a similar issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were a few groups that were missing posts, and a few that had to be postponed or had other related weather issues. It's like February is wild, especially when we're in the middle of a polar vortex in a lot of different places.
Yeah. So let's talk about some operational stuff from Store Champs, what we think went well and what we didn't. Well, as we previously alluded to, weather sucks. Like, a lot. And it turns out that even though the post office normally doesn't care too much about this sort of thing, those trucks can't get through 4 inches of snow when it's not plowed. That tends to disrupt the mail a little bit. Just saying.
If we could harness the power of weather ponies.
Yeah, I don't know. Pegasoil slacking off or something.
Something about that. However, this weather issue did bring with it kind of an amusing correction or story or anecdote. In that one box that was lost or damaged in shipping, got a little bonus in it.
Oh yes. So it turns out that the way that we sent these things is with USPS small flat rate boxes, and it turns out that when you shove 36 packs and a few assorted goodies in there, they tend to explode. And as Railershy says, there is a box that went to Bloomington, Illinois, and that box evidently exploded. The post office put it back together and included some mascara because they had some spare laying around.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Someone's a Rarity fan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally it. Definitely a Rarity fan.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah.
Yes, like a literal tube of mascara, we're told. Like, no idea.
That was an odd one. But it made for a funny story, and I mean, totally makes up for it being, a week late, right? Because you get makeup with it.
Yeah,
It makes up for the fact that it was late.
That was awful.
Had to do it.
I'm aware you did. Let's see, we had a couple of other stores where it turns out that there are physical addresses that are not serviced by the post office.
Yeah, that's a new one for me.
'Cause evidently, the box needs to be sent to a specific PO box or something. I don't.
Rayler, the promos came out. There was no tracking number associated with those because they were shipped via a first-class envelope. But they are shipped.
Yeah, they're somewhere between here and there. Let's see. Some more things. We also found out that some stores evidently don't have zip codes. Although I think that was more an input issue.
Yeah. It's okay. Little details.
We figured those out, mostly.
Mhm.
Let's see. So, from our side, we do have a few things that we can deal with here. Obviously, we'd like to get these things sent out sooner where possible, but we do all have day jobs after all. Unfortunately, we cannot dedicate our entire day into adorable little ponies
One day.
and cardboard.
One day.
To deal with the fact that those boxes like to explode, well, the obvious solution to that is more tape. Like, a lot more tape. And unfortunately, there were no, like, correctly sized little plastic bags to put the promos in.
We'll find something that'll work,
That
though.
Yeah. And then I'm going to alter the sign-up form to specifically include a mailing address because, as we've noticed, some of these stores have mailing addresses that are different than their physical address, which is strange, but there you go.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to hear your package got there okay for the most part, Hithrock. It went overseas, and that was an accomplishment.
Yeah. Like it was actually quite amusing because some of the international packages ended up arriving before some of the domestic packages, which is highly impressive.
I mean, sure, but how much, how many beauty products did the international packages contain?
I don't know. I'm assuming none.
That they were willing to admit.
Fair. So what can we do to improve organization of these events in the future? Well, there's a few things, right? The first thing that we always ask is feedback. Feedback is the most valuable resource we can get from any of you players, any of your play groups. If you have things that worked well, that didn't work well, that you'd like to suggest, that you liked, that you didn't like, we are here to listen to you and to help better the process of these events. So tell us.
We obviously need more Sequestria Block Popper. Grandpa's dies a little bit inside.
Could also do some premiere drafts.
That also sounds good.
Let's see, Sequestria Block Popper. I think that's now okay because we can do 2-color decks.
What?
Sure. Sequestria Block Popper, we can do 2-color decks now instead of 3-color decks. I'm okay
You
with
could do
this.
2-color decks.
You could, you just couldn't confront 2 of your problems.
Not seeing an issue here.
So, the Werefrog asks, what about allowing the store to choose any format for the event? So, for store championships, these have historically been constructed format events, meaning that people are bringing their decks in advance. And the 2 officially recognized constructed events, with the exception of more limited ones like Block, are Harmony or Core, which stores did have the chance to choose.
You forgot one?
I said officially recognized.
We don't count Nightmare.
Not till BabsCon, anyway. Spoilers, there's going to be Nightmare at BabsCon.
Bring your poison decks.
However, if there are local events we end up running in the future that are limited format events, then of course we can allow the stores to do with what they will. Since Werefrog asks, Nightmare is no cards are banned and everything has its original printed text.
Including those marvelous chapeaus that reduce the opponent's problems wild requirement to 1.
Yes. Oh, and the old confront rule is back. So you scored the bonus points on being the first to confront a problem. It's a nightmare.
Nightmarish fun.
Sure, we'll go with that. Apart from feedback, Ara, I think you had a particular question for players.
I did, actually. This time, the Store Championship kits went out containing Friends Forever packs and Friends Forever promos. I wonder if players would be interested in events using potentially older packs and older promos. Some of the things that haven't been seen quite so much, but Defenders or Sequestria, or I don't think I want to say Marks because everyone and their dog seems to have so much Marks. But maybe Marks. Or maybe even Mixes? Probably not Mixes. That might get a little bit too difficult, shall we say.
Okay, so there's a few
Canterlot
people...
Knights.
Canterlot Knights Premier Draft.
Crystal Games
I was about to
Premier
s-
Draft.
Crystal Games only draft.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do this?
Because if we're gonna suffer at maximum velocity.
Maximum Velocity is like mono Canterlot Knights, though. That set had no entry. Crystal Games at least had the resources. I actually do think Canterlot Knights had half the entry of all the other sets.
We could go look at this, but not right now.
Well, it's good to know that some of the other playgroups would appreciate having some older, more vintage, shall we say, packs.
I don't know. It'd be kind of amusing. I don't think I'm legitimately proposing that like premier packs get sent out, but if there's a group that's interested in that,
We could always do that flashback series Cheese was talking about.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. I want to do that still.
You want to briefly mention the idea and poll the chat and see what they think?
Well, yeah, the idea, it's more of a local group thing, but to do, just go back through the history of the game, like have a tournament or two at each set with whatever the rules were for that set
can we run
at the time of the set.
can we run early Crystal Games?
With proper ban lists.
Dang it, no, that wasn't part of early Crystal Games.
Correct.
They want
and
to run
with proper
Dragon
ban
Express.
lists. Dragon Express was never played during a tournament.
We obviously need to fix that.
Play it at Nightmare.
No, I want it to.
It's too slow in Nightmare.
No, I want it to run wild in the environment in which it was originally conceived.
I mean, sure, in that environment it's great. In Nightmare it's too slow. Consider that. Consider that any fixer event plus Magical Mailbox plus Star Swirl Research is too slow. And that'll give you a good indicator of what Nightmare format is.
But anyway, we don't need to go on proving that we're terrible people.
No, we don't. I know that many players enjoyed seeing the return of store championships and seeing some local support, and I know that the stores were also happy to see that, and we have good news. It is our plan to continue running globally organized events at a regular frequency or regular occurrence.
Every week. JK.
Little much, maybe. But we are currently hoping to be able to arrange, organize, and support at least one globally synchronized event per quarter.
So that's 4 times a year, and hopefully we'll be able to run that.
Now, of course, this is in addition to our regular convention appearances and, continental championships, things like that.
And I think someone also had this concern. This is not going to significantly interfere with the Coco and Heiko series.
Ah, yes, there was a player who asked about that. No worries, just because we're handling organized play in the physical realm does not mean that the digital realm is being neglected. Those events will continue to run and fire at the same rate. In fact, Coco signups are Heiko
Hackos.
signups.
Good job.
Caught it. Are currently up. Let's see if we can find a link to that somewhere.
I'll get it.
Okay. Okay, so that takes care of the logistics for now of store championships. Let's talk about some cards.
Yes, I'd like to talk
I
about
mean, some decks.
Berry Dreams, who is the
Let's
best
talk
card.
about decks.
I'd like to talk about Poppy.
Really? I'm actually okay with this. Let's talk about Poppy.
Are we starting?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we are. Here's Poppy.
Poppy?
Okay, so this was from the Connection Games in Vancouver, British Columbia. They played Harmony. And here is their top deck.
Top Keck?
Top deck is Top Keck.
It's also Top Keck, that's true.
This is the greatest list I've ever seen.
I think I have to concur. This is amazing.
I still don't understand how it won.
Poppy! Like, I don't think... I don't
mean-
think that this needs much explanation beyond, see that copy of C Poppy right there?
It's aggro controlled combo.
So the purpose of this deck is to be able to score some points by aggroing, which of course you can do. But more importantly, count the number of instances of the word random appearing on any of these cards, and note that none of them are the actual keyword random, which is terrible.
Because it's not even random.
Correct. And then take a look at that cute little sea pony, Sea Poppy.
Yes, I have but one regret for this deck, which is that it cannot copy that Poppy.
No, but apparently at one point an opponent copied that Poppy when it was frightened due to one of the villains. Which is kind of amazing.
Yes, this is quite amazing.
This is RNG.deck, and definitely one of my favorites.
Okay.
So, let's check the next event.
Let's see. Here we have the Nerd Store from West Valley City, Utah. They ran Harmony, and here is their top deck. So
I think there's some meticulous here.
I think there's some purple cards in this deck.
there's a lot of purple cards in this deck.
It's kind of a hybrid of purple control and trying to get these aggressive burst turns.
I appreciate this deck. It has very high concentration of Twilight.
There's a lot of Twilight on the cards.
I didn't even notice that until just now.
You're welcome.
Yep, they're not ever actually looking to play the Rainbow Dashes app, but with the 3 copies of Scope Things out, they can easily put it on top when they need to.
Yeah. And
And of
flipping
course-
that at an opportune time, of course, is going to be devastating. Because this can make a little bit of tokens. Should be able
Mhm.
to get a nice action token advantage on its opponents if it needs.
Yep. Yep, a lot of fun purple stuff going on here. And the study session, of course, is irritating too. Gotta love that study session.
Oh, but of course it is.
All right, what's the next event?
Let's see. Next up, I believe we have Zulu's Board Game Cafe in Bothell, Washington, which is a core format. That was the other thing that actually surprised me. They seemed like just by the spreadsheet, we seem to have about even numbers of Harmony and core, but I'm seeing more Harmony than I was really expecting.
There's a lot of Harmony.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that a lot of these groups still favor some of the older cards. Makes sense. There's some fun things you can do with them.
Anyway, I think I'll hand this one over to Grandpaws because I think you had opinions about this.
It has 53 cards.
It does have 53 cards.
Okay, so my opinion about this deck. How did you flip Twilight without cheating?
Oh yeah, that too.
There are 3 Aloysius and 3 Starlights you can play without flipping so that you can play a Star Swirl Research.
Or Napkicks.
Or Napkicks. I'm calling shenanigans.
No, hold on. You're missing the bit where a Pony of Shadows gets beaten up and it dumps a Starlight into play somehow.
No, I understand that Aloysius has Meticulous. I'm referring to that is the only card in this deck that has Meticulous. And Twilight has to end up flipping by putting a card on top.
Which there
And-
are not that many ways to do.
Correct. Also, there's, 53 cards here?
Correct. Of course it's a 53 card deck.
Skidder, you knew exactly what you were doing.
He's a sorcerer, I'm telling you.
He is a sorcerer. And you could make the argument that, oh, hey, it's okay, I'll just put Starlight, the Starlight Glimmer Troublemaker, face up at a problem so I can get my main the color requirement to, play those other cards that have 2 rec that put stuff on top of my deck. Nope. Not here. Yeah. Calling shenanigans here. Fun list though. Nice bit of soft control. Definitely some interesting stuff going on.
All right.
Yeah, I can't go any more into depth.
Run
Brains all-
53 cards, you win games.
I enjoy seeing.
I'm literally sitting here squirming, and I hope you understand this, that
Yes.
I'm writhing in my chair because you have defied all odds of probability, and it paid off.
Crawling in your robe.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right, next one.
Let's see. I believe we have to skip 4 of these. Various stores from around the world that have not posted tournament results to our knowledge. And I believe our next one is New Wave Comics and Collectible in Schwenksville, Pennsylvania. And another core event. Wait. What is this? This is not the right list.
This is not the right list.
Okay. Something's
The
something's
one with
being weird.
Lyra's
Hold on.
in it?
Yeah, hold on. Something's being weird here.
Sorry, the one with what was his name? The vanilla blue.
No, I
from-
think that's the right list. I think the description is just wrong.
Yeah, what's going on here? Who's lying to me? This
I
doesn't
think-
look like
I-
AJ Mono Farm.
I think Cheese is lying to you. I think this is the deck that won.
I must have copied it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I checked the Reddit post. This is the right deck list.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ivor.
This is
Who-
blue and a purple.
Yes. Despite no, this is definitely AJ Mono Farm. It says right there.
Clearly.
Right.
Now, I would
Okay.
like to point out that despite the fact that Daring Do is merely a recolored Rainbow Dash, you cannot transform her with Rainbow Dash Loyal Sea Pony.
I don't know.
Gonna need a dev ruling on that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking no. I mean, they're clearly not the same pony. Unless the dev is Ember, in which case maybe they are the same pony. I don't know. Are dragons colorblind?
Sure, let's go with that.
That's an interesting question. No, they can't be.
Literally
We've
the
seen
same
we've
pony.
seen through Spike's eyes before.
Have we?
Yeah, when he gives the fire ruby to Rarity.
Oh, right. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, this isn't the first time we've seen blue and purple, but this is a different list. It's running a lot of cheap friends. It's also running one copy of Lyra that has no text.
Yeah.
It seems like the person was trying out a few card selections that they weren't really sure about. A lot of singletons here. It could be just a lack of availability in the collection, or they just weren't sure what was going to work.
Seemed to work well enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand the Lyra being a one-of, because obviously it has no game text.
Right. You can only play so many vanilla 2/1/2s.
Right?
Geez, do you want to provide some context for people in chat about this?
No. I think it's better that we
About
just leave it
Lyra?
with that.
About Lyra.
Yeah, she doesn't have any game text. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd run a 2/2 vanilla friend with Wreck. What's the point?
Alright, fine. No context. Next one.
Okay, we've got Game Time Indie
Arg!
from Indianapolis, which would be unsurprising. Also a core event. And we've got Blue Farming. Blue-Purple Farming.
Blue.
Blue, purple, orange farming.
I was going to say blue farming in giant quotes.
Is this the obligatory color discussion?
I mean, this deck does qualify for being blue. It has over 5 cards that have a blue play requirement on it.
Just barely.
It has 6.
Yes. Which is more than 5.
I see.
I want to run this deck.
This does look kind of fun, doesn't it?
You want to run this deck?
Yeah, defeating Pony of Shadows here seems like a bad idea.
It seems like a great idea. Possibly the greatest idea. I'm 100% okay with this. Oh, come on, it'll be great.
I also like that if you run out of the troublemakers that you have there to farm, don't worry, you can just get them all back again. And a couple magical misfires for good measure to stop the opponent control decks from doing the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're interesting. I don't think we've seen one of these in a while.
Didn't he
Whatever.
run something similar at Continentals?
There was a player who ran something somewhat similar at Continentals in that it had these colors in it.
I think this... Well, this seems to be taking it to an extreme that I don't believe I've seen before. So this is just kind of interesting in its own right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And yeah,
All right.
the trick with School Shutdown is really cute.
School Shutdown is a card that I was just discussing with Hithrock earlier today as well. We think that basically every person who rated it too low, except maybe Cheese, who claimed that he rated it well.
Hmm.
I don't actually remember what I rated it, but
I'm pretty sure I rated it too low.
yeah.
By the way, I would like to buy everyone's school shutdowns, please.
I do remember in the discussion I was like, but it gives control the ability to not need
To go pink and white?
to recursion.
I don't actually remember what I rated it either. I don't think I rated it that low.
Ah well. We'll see more of it here soon.
Oh yeah.
Next list?
Next list. Red Raccoon Games from Bloomington, Illinois, also a core store. It's a blue and a pink aggro deck. Looks like Hot Wings.
Does look like Hot Wings.
I like the flitter there. I wonder what that was for.
Looks almost exactly.
It's there because she's adorable.
This is Hot Wings, but only the problem deck has been updated.
No, wasn't the flitter? I think that's new.
The flitter is
is
the
new.
flitter is new, but it's not a new card. There's no card here from. Oh man, is there not even a card from Sequestria?
Nope.
Oh
Yes.
There is
Problems.
chicken.
Again, not in the problems.
Oh, in the main deck? Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, in the main deck.
I mean, it is a Hot Wings variant, that's for sure.
Yeah, alright.
Bluna Pink still does Bluna Pink things. Who would have thought?
I mean, I'm not real surprised, but yeah.
She go fast.
I do really like the addition of Lacking Lesson Plans and Searching High and Low. Those problems are kind of good.
I might have gone for Concerning Cutie Mark instead of LLP, but
This needs.
So,
So-
searching.
yeah. But that's about it.
Hithrock, if you're going to do that meme, I'm going to need you to finish it in chat so it doesn't look like you're just being abusive. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
There we go. All right. Yeah. Let's see. I think our next one,
Yeah, let's do it.
we're going to take a trip, not that many miles, I think, if I remember where these cities are, to Titan Games Peoria in Peoria Heights, Illinois. This was a Harmony store, and yeah,
Yep.
I thought we left this behind.
thought
Nope.
wrong. It's an AJ farming deck. It looks like it does AJ farming deck things. I do note here that the player has 5 resource removal. It seems
Yeah.
like they don't like cardboard boxes.
Is this your exact list from Vancouver? Cheese?
I think it is.
Hey, it worked. Can't fault what
The
works.
Nightmare Moons. I don't think I was running Nightmare Moon.
No, that's right.
It is. Yeah, they took out 2 Sombras for 2 Nightmare Moons.
That's
Okay.
probably an okay choice.
Also, yeah, it's just a. Oh, yeah, and no, the Troublemakers are shifted around a lot, actually.
Just the numbers on them.
Yeah.
That's okay. Villain blend is sometimes a personal choice.
Yeah, that's
There
subjective.
may also be slightly less.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
As long as there's
12.
enough to punch and get points, I see no problem.
I mean, AJ at Social Obligations will get points real fast,
Yep.
and then she gets big real
There's
fast.
3 sticks.
Yeah, this is an AJ deck, and it's still kind of a pain to deal with.
It did AJ deck things. Yep.
It did. All right, next list.
Yeah.
Let's see. This goes out to the West Coast, a Crazy Squirrel game store in Fresno, California.
I know that place.
I'm sure you do.
I've been there a few times.
They ran core. And, oh.
I'm just gonna sit here and
Be sad.
Just
yeah.
look at this for a minute and just be like, wow, this looks annoying to play against.
This looks amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
This
What
deck
I'm
was made.
My deck was running Luna's Future to get rid of problematic opposing friends before it could combo off. It was not running 20 Luna's Futures. It should have been running School Shutdown.
Yeah. No, this deck is fun, and it was made an hour before I had to pick what deck to run.
I
No, I
mean,
think-
I'm not that attached to the match. It was a burb deck. Like burb deck does burb deck things. Control decks are gonna do this, and this is a very oppressive control deck. All-star of the deck cheese.
It's either old money or school shutdown.
Old money has some value to her.
The school shutdowns are just crazy though. Like
Yeah,
I wish
how-
I had more.
How long have you been waiting to make that pun?
I wasn't
fun.
even trying to. It was completely unintentional.
What was the pun? Old money has some
It's-
value.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would have never even noticed that one. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ara.
I didn't either.
You're all welcome for the additional mental distress.
Also, I would take out the 2 party clashers and add another school shutdown and either another magical misfire or the other belly flop.
Sure.
I'm not running a 3 of a belly flop. That's a bad one.
Well, yeah, the only friends I'm willing to get rid of are my bodyguard prepared tokens and Berry Punch and Swirl.
That's a bad one.
All right, let's move on from this. The pain is too great.
All right. Going all the way across the world now to Geek Wars in
Russia.
Moscow, Russia. Harmony and a Baluna Pink aggro list. This one with a few different choices here.
There we go. There's Gabby. Hey,
She's
it's
just-
Hot Wings.
So happy to be on a card in here.
This is this is Harmony? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is straight up Hot Wings with the addition of
There's a problem in the plushie dash.
Swinging Wonders.
Yeah. And the Lacking Lesson
And
Plans.
Lacking Lesson Plans, yeah.
No, you're missing the Scooterpult there.
Oh yeah, surprise takeoff. Look at that.
Surprise takeoff, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
it's the right card.
yeah,
yeah.
that seems like a good card for this deck. Like it would enjoy that or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems good.
9
Ye-
dilemmas.
Whew.
Oh, this
The-
is a 46 card deck.
The jests are interesting as well. That's a difficult problem for Luna to confront.
Yeah. I think I would have just dropped a jest and dropped down to 45.
Yeah. All right, next list.
All right. Still from Russia, one from St. Petersburg. This is a core tournament. We've got some Muffin Mare going on here.
Why is this deck not running mod?
Which mod?
The mod
stupid
that
combo mod.
combos.
Because this deck, I don't think can combo.
All you need is 2 cards.
You also need a way to start a face-off involving Big Mac.
DFO.
DFO, yeah.
What? Just naturally, and then reorder your deck to your own liking.
Yes, exactly.
I see no problem here.
So
Oh,
this
Claire.
is an interesting list in that it's likely going to need the opponent to help flip Muffin Mare early, since the only friend that you can play off of Trading Traditions is Factory Jack.
I mean, if that's the only friend you can play off it, that's still a fine friend. You can go with the classic Tantabuse opening of Factory Jack into Time Loop.
Yep, and then Paper Twi later and just look at all my AT. There's a lot of decks that seem to like AT right now.
Having action tokens is pretty good, I'd say.
Something action token economy.
Something action token economy.
Hithrock being a good buddy here in chat.
Well, there you go. There's a reason to run a DE themed event.
Get yourself some defenders.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds good.
I enjoy that he's using... Oh, does that actually show up on Twitch?
Hmm?
The RD what thing?
No, it does not. Or at least I
No.
don't think it does.
Okay.
I think it does if you're using the Twitch client, but not on the web browser.
Okay.
No.
I'm just using IRC. So
Okay. Next one.
Let's see. We've got back to the Midwest. Midwest Games in Indianapolis. A Harmony store with a Balloona Pink aggro deck. Looks a little bit more vanilla Hot Wings.
Yep.
there's a lot of aggro.
Only difference is it looks like
This
they have a
is-
surprise takeoff there.
It's a lot of Hot Wings.
This is the third we've seen.
Yeah, this is the third Hot Wings list we've seen.
Yeah, I mean there are a couple of changes. There's a Scudapult.
Sure. I mean, I don't disagree with any of the changes that are here. It's just,
It's
It's
Hot
a
Wings.
deck- it's a Hot Wings. It's an easily accessible deck with minimal ultra rares and a very clearly established playstyle.
Go fast.
And a good record while you're at it.
And a good record. You can go fast. Speaking of aggro,
Oh my god.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. All right. Mox Boarding House in Bellevue, Washington, a core store, and I have but one thing to say about this, which is
hiss.
47 cards. Okay, drop.
A Desert Road.
Yeah, a desert road. Maybe industrial. No. Friends are always there. Rise and shine. One of those.
So this was... What was this? You must construct additional pythons?
you have to say it with the voice, but yes, it's you must construct additional pythons.
Who ran this?
Who do you think ran this?
Hi, Skitter.
Wait, did
Yes.
Skitter win both events?
Yes.
He did.
Because if Skitter owned a third Bunyip, it'd be a 48 card deck. And then I'd have to give him crap for not making either a 45 card deck or a 53 card deck. Anyway, this thing gets scary. The just sheer flood of stuff that this can put at problems is real hard to deal with. Never mind if he gets a day shift out and the traitor to the hive sits at the problem is like, hi, I'm like 14 power. Just hissing. So much hissing.
Challenge him to a face-off. Nothing could go wrong.
That's a lot of really small friends that are really irritating with Applejack and Fluttershy.
Yes. It's the kind of thing where that flitter from that Hot Wings deck,
Yeah?
if dropped at the right time, just all the damage.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Can we please have Party Bomb back, please?
Party Bomb.
I needs it.
0.
I needs it.
You do not need it and never will.
I needs it.
Next list?
All right. Isle of Gamers in Santa Clara, California, with a
She's
Harmony
nice.
store.
She's
Hey,
nice,
look.
that place.
It's an AJ farm deck. I bet AJ did farm deck things.
Yep. She farmed.
She needs to retire.
AJ needs to retire?
Retire from farming.
She needs to
More AJ
say,
aggro.
retire this card to
Put 2 counters on this card.
yes.
I mean,
We just need to send AJ out to a nice, wide open
Aye.
farm in the country.
Stop it. I mean, she basically just says, like, she might as well just say, like, exhaust this card to defeat a troublemaker and put 2 power counters on this card.
Except it also has stubborn, so that you can still confront at the end of the turn.
It's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, it basically works. Whatever. But
Seems
yeah,
fair.
another AJ farm deck list. I don't think we have a whole lot more to say here.
Nope. Last one of the collected lists.
Okay, last up we've got the Greater Richmond, Virginia area MLP-CCG group, which is a core store, and here is a Baluna white aggro list.
You got thoughts on this one, Ivory?
I know that the player who ran this, put this together fairly last minute. She forgot that it was supposed to be core, so she took all the Harmony stuff out and put whatever else she could find. And that's why you're seeing some singletons in here.
Last
Fair
minute
enough.
panic seems to work though.
Yeah, I mean, it's Bluna. It does Bluna things. Bluna runs fast.
I think that actually clinches the title of most winning main as far as top spots are concerned with like 5 Bluna lists. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
Somewhere on there, yeah. So okay,
There are exactly 5, actually.
okay. So I think we've established that Luna is best princess, Twilight second, Celestia and Cadence are nowhere to be seen.
One of them is missing a main, and the other one was never meant to be
Wait,
good.
someone was running Cadence?
Not anywhere to be seen.
She doesn't. That doesn't count as a main.
Nope.
There
Can
is
we
no-
have
there is no
a
Cadence main.
Celestia main that is not terrible.
Yes. It's one of Cursed Chord's favorite things to run.
There are no Celestias that are not there.
Okay, so we've taken a look at all the individual decks here, or all the individual top decks. Let's talk big picture for a couple minutes.
Well, like I said, more Harmony than I expected, but
And still a lot of AJ farm in Harmony.
more Baluna too. But I guess that's not too surprising. The meta is currently very, very aggro-centric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a huge variety of aggro decks that are out here too. You see a lot of different color combinations, a lot of different cards being run. And again, it's kind of difficult to get a full picture of what the top decks in the meta are with so much diversity and with some areas basically having just one archetype. For example, there were like 4 farming decks or something ridiculous like that at Santa Clara, and there were a bunch of aggro decks at many other store championships. So it's interesting to see.
Yep.
Any other takeaways before we want to get to some news announcements for organized play and stuff?
What are you clicking on?
My mouse.
Quit it.
Sorry.
I hear clicking noises.
Pony clicker.
Click, 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 click. What? You scrubs don't have a little program written that automatically clicks the thing? Actually, wait. For Pony Clicker, you just pry the save file open and alter it so you have several.
Okay. Dragging you back here.
What I am interested in is the last time we saw a large increase in aggro, which, if I remember right, was the first time Hot Wings made an appearance. We saw the sudden influx of control decks.
You're saying Control has a reactionary response?
Yes.
Controls
That's
immediate
exactly what I'm
response.
saying.
Yes.
While aggro is still on the stack.
In response, Control. Fanman asks what we think about BronyCon CCG. I think BronyCon CCG is great. Sim is going to be there at BronyCon this year. Continentals is not. Continentals will be elsewhere.
Yes, on account of this being the last BronyCon, We
Go
feel
out
it would probably be
in-
more appropriate to let people enjoy the con rather than just be locked in the Crystal Arena for the entire time.
Yeah.
So while there will be events there,
should go out and, socialize. Be, dare I say, extroverted?
big sigh.
You mad?
Slightly.
Fair. Okay. We've got one last bit of info that I kind of want to touch on before we wrap up things for today. Before we get to that, does anyone else have any comments to add on Store Champs?
Nope.
Next round when?
3 months? Ish?
Ish.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Okay.
Got a hard deadline here. 3 month-ish.
3 month-ish, yes. 3-ish months. Something like that. So, briefly talking about organized play overall, we're back in running events again, which is great. We're glad to have that. And one thing that always comes up when there are more local events is the topic of what cards are legal to play. Specifically, the ban list. And we are going to be sharing some information here in the next couple of days or so, just to give a better picture of how Sim is going to manage the ban list moving forward, with our procedures and philosophy and all of that, as well as updates to the ban list, whether anything changes or not. And while all of this information is going to be posted across all major platforms because we'd like everyone to be able to see this, just wanted to give a short summary here tonight so people can have a little bit of context. So for those of you who don't know, Commentary is Magic does run organized play for the game. We put on these events, we send out the product, we help local stores and playgroups get what they need to be able to do this. In addition to that, we are constantly reviewing data from all sorts of organized events. Online tournaments like Coco or Heiko, local tournaments like this, convention events, everything. If there's report results out there for it somewhere, we're probably looking at it. I think Aura likes his data.
Probably not as much as Curse Accords does, though, because he's got a very interesting system he wrote up about. I, of course, want to come up with a way to take his final results and feed it into something named TWI, which is completely incidental to the fact that his output is named TIA.
Of course. While we are reviewing all of this data, at a frequency of about every 2 to 4 months, Sim sits down and discusses a watch list that we have of cards, formats, and we discuss and determine if there's any change that's required. This change could be particular cards being banned, particular cards being unbanned, format rules adjustments, all sorts of different things. And we just wanted to let you know how we are handling this moving forward. First off, whenever any change is going to be made to organized play, especially regarding legality of cards, that change has to be unanimous between all three of us here. Cheese, Aracat, and myself.
Cards can, in fact, get unbanned. Vapor Trail is legal in Core and not legal in Harmony. Arguably, there's not really that much of a reason for Globetrotter to remain banned, because if he turns out and starts being a problem again, he's just going to eat a pumpkin. And unfortunately, Rainbow Shine cannot come back.
No, Rainbow Shine has some serious problems with Herd of Adoring fans.
To put things lightly.
Anyway, following our analysis and review and decision, any announcement that we have in regard to changes to the tournament floor rules, the ban list, any of that, is going to be posted across all major platforms. Reddit, Discord, Facebook, Skype, wherever you may happen to be, you should be able to see this. Any announcement is going to include a justification and a reasoning behind any changes either to the format or to the ban list. But so you know that we are not using our position as organized play organizers to our advantage, any change that is announced will be future dated at least 4 weeks from the date of its announcement. What this basically means is that from the time that a change is announced, everyone will have at least 1 month to figure out what else they want to do with it before those cards are actually legal or not legal to play in their respective formats.
Or whatever other changes become effective. Sure. But this is, the inspiration for this is drawn very heavily from what Magic does, where generally they will announce changes and those will not be effective for or until the first of the following month. So there's some pedigree here.
We're still working on the rules update, Hithrock, for the comprehensive rules. But at least as far as the tournament floor rules are concerned, you can expect an announcement within the next few days. But we just wanted to share that little bit of context so people know how we're going to handle this moving forward. And so players are aware that this is coming from a non-biased, fair point of view. Okay. That's all I wanted to, say about that.
Is it like the end of a Weird Al song? That's all you wanted to say about that?
That's all we wanted to say about that. I don't have the accordion though, so I can't do it. Anyway, thank you again to everyone who participated in Store Championships. I think this is going to wrap up our discussion on all this for tonight.
No, I had quite a bit of fun in there. There were our stores had people who basically kind of came out of the woodwork, which is great to see.
Yeah, we had a couple players who always get together for these events, so it's always good to see them come out. And maybe next time I'll be able to interact in meaningful ways with Jesus' decks.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. This is what I get for playing a deck that doesn't interact with opposing decks.
I mean, look, you can interact in meaningful ways with opposing decks by just beating them. That counts, right?
Apparently I can't.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Yes.
Does Cheese's deck interact with your deck, though?
That's the real question.
One of them was incredibly interactive.
By virtue of winning.
No, by virtue of being a control deck. The other one, a little bit less so.
It kind of just ignored the opponent.
Yeah.
Wait, which one is the control deck? The AJ farming deck? That's
yes, definitely deck? That one.
The one that's just like, hi, I'm Applejack. It's a darn shame you can't keep up with me, Sugar Cube.
Buy some apples.
Buy some apples.
Anyway, I think we'll cut it off for today. We would like to give a big shout out to all of our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support. And if you aren't currently a patron but you enjoy what we do, please consider donating. Doing so enables us to continue making content like this. If you have comments or questions you'd like to send our way, or if you're just interested in hearing about what we're working on for the future, there are many ways you can stay in contact. We have our Patreon, as mentioned previously, but you can also reach us through Facebook, Twitter, and email. And patrons at or above the $5 per month level also get access to our Slack channel, where you can chat live with us any day, anytime. Like probably tonight, since I drank coffee this afternoon.
Oh my God.
For reasons I don't understand.
I was up at 3 a.m. on Wednesday night. No, 6 a.m. on Wednesday night because something broke, and I was mad at it, and it offended me.
Is 6 a.m. even still considered night?
Yes.
It depends on if you go to bed immediately afterwards.
Yes.
If you're
Sir-
looking...
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is what I get for maintaining my own infrastructure.
I mean, yeah. If you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, you can find them on our YouTube channel linked in the sidebar, and please make sure to subscribe so we can have a channel URL that makes some amount of sense. We are getting closer every day. With all that said, thank you to each and every one of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. We are, as always, Commentary as Magic. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Big cheese.
Aracat and...
Ivory Starlight.
And we will see you all soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.